All right, so that we're live with Kirsten. Kirsten, how are you? We're going to be talking about
I'm
uh, PineconeGate. All
Oops.
right, so that
Oops.
we're
Oops.
live
Oops.
with
Oops.
Kirsten. Forgot to mute myself like a fool, but good to know the sound is okay. Kirsten, thank you for being on. It's a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, you're welcome. I did not think that you would invite me on, so I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
Well, like a lot of shit was said about you yesterday on Andy's stream. So I figured
Yep.
that it would be fair for you to give your side of the story. And now, a full acknowledgement or full disclosure, I was there in Knoxville, but you and I have not had any kind of conversation about the events of Knoxville either before this conversation or in the few minutes before we actually started this live stream. And so I just want to make it out
Right.
there that if you want to say any shit about me, if it's accurate, I will not dispute it. If it's true, I will not dispute it. If you say something, if that is not true, then I'll contest it. But you can say whatever you want. So here is a space for you to just give your side of the story of Knoxville and anything else you want to talk about. So, Kristen, I leave it in your hands. What was your experience in Knoxville? I mean, how did you arrive at Knoxville? To tell you the truth, that's something everybody wants to know.
Oh, how I flew in. I flew right into the airport, and Ralph picked me up and dropped me off at my hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
One question I have
shoot.
for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like talk over you. I'm curious. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm
Sure.
just curious why, instead of just like leaving it anonymous, you kind of gave some pointers as to who I was. Like, I don't know if it was just for context or.
I just said specifically, I referred to you as somebody overweight and who had tattoos. That's all I ever said.
Right.
And there are
Yeah,
millions of people who fit that description. So
of course.
yeah. So I did not identify you, and to claim that I
Right.
identified you is just not accurate. I just said
Right.
that you were overweight, and I used rather despective language to identify you as overweight. And I also said that you had tattoos, and so I do
Right.
not see
Yeah.
why that is considered not anonymous. That I dox anybody. I mean, that would be absurd.
Right. I get that. I completely okay. There were a lot of people there who were overweight who had tattoos or piercings or whatever. Especially, being there, I obviously seen it. So
So,
another thing
I mean,
was,
like, I am not interested in you and I having a fight. I'm interested in hearing your story. So, how is it that you decided to fly out to Knoxville? You must have had some tacit invitation or an outright invitation to go to Knoxville. Is that correct? Or you decided to just go on your own?
I decided to go on my own. I had gotten in contact with Andy in about October or November, and that's kind of where he brought it up. Or I was a fan since like 2015,
Mm-hmm.
and I had fallen out of the loop a little bit and did not know that he was even going. And I was working a part-time delivery job. I didn't have bills to pay. So when we were talking, he was saying he was going to go to Knoxville, everything else. I was like, well, maybe I will join in since all the other fans are going. And that's how it came about. So it wasn't quite a direct invite more than it was, hey, we're doing this.
Mm-hmm. But you had the expectation that you two would meet up. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the fact that Ralph, one of the organizers of this thing, went and picked you up at the airport. I mean that wasn't a minor thing, right?
Yeah, I was surprised that he was going to do that. It wasn't necessarily like bad to me more than it was. I was just surprised that he was being so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not a bad thing to be nice,
No, of course not.
It's certainly not. But I was thankful,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
And so, yeah, so tell us. You arrived at the airport, and just walk us through what happened.
Well, I get there. It's a funny story. So I get there about 12 o'clock noon, maybe 1, and Andy's telling me, "Hey, I'm gonna be in at this and this time," which was around noon or 1. and he told me he was flying in from New York, didn't know, was his layover from New York, and he didn't know his gate number, but he was going in from New York. So I looked at all, you were there, there were 12 gates. So
Hmm.
I looked at the one that said New York, and I was like, okay, and I waited and I waited and I waited, which everything went well. And 1 o'clock goes by, and I'm like, okay, like, alrighty. And eventually, about 3 o'clock, I get a call, and he's like, "Where?" Andy calls me. He's like, "Where am I? I can't find you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I am." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean you don't know where you are?" I'm like, "Okay, so what baggage claim? There's two baggage claims." Of course, he goes on his whole, "No, there's not two baggage claims. There's three. I'm at baggage claim three. Everything else." I'm like, "No, the fuck you're not." So I struggled I was trying to get, find him. So I'm walking around. I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck? I don't know where you are." And I'm looking around, and I had them page him, everything else, and he just was like, "I gotta go," left. And that was that, pretty much. And I kept calling him. I'm like, "Why the fuck would you hang up on me? I'm trying to figure out where you are to help you, right?" So I'm like, "Okay." And keep calling him, don't fucking answer. Someone else has to contact me and say, "Hey, he's in Nashville." And I'm
Who
like, "What
who
the fuck?"
contacted you?
It was someone. It was a Zaiden's ex-girlfriend
Hmm.
who let me know.
Okay, and how did she know?
I guess someone posted about it. Ralph did.
Okay. Okay, so you're at the Knoxville airport, and then what happens?
I called Ralph and let him know. He came and got me. Everything was fine. We went out to the Taco Bell down the road or whatever to lunch, and then he dropped me off at my hotel.
How
Everything was
how did
fine. He
how did
wasn't.
you have Ethan's number?
He gave it to me shortly before Knoxville, like 2 weeks beforehand.
And how were you in contact with Ethan before Knoxville?
Discord and Twitter. Initially, he contacted me through Twitter.
Okay. And so I guess so you were in contact with Andy and with Ethan. And so there
Right.
was the expectation that you were going to be part of the crew, if you will. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, please continue.
Well, he dropped me off at my hotel, and that was that pretty much. He went ahead and did the thing.
Did
Went, and
did what thing?
I'm sorry. He went and picked Andy up in Nashville. So he went his merry way, went and got Andy, and I guess came back. And I don't know if it was you and Dick who flew in the same day or the day
Yeah.
after, but he went, yeah. So he went and picked you guys up and went back pretty much.
Okay, so let me get this straight, just for the sake of the timeline. So you arrived like around 1 p.m. It was I think it was Friday. Is that correct?
Let me pull up my calendar just to make sure. Because I'm actually not. I think, yeah, it was Thursday, wasn't it?
Thursday or Friday?
I want to say it was a
Yeah, I
Thursday.
think so too. Yeah. Okay, so you arrived on Thursday at noon.
Yeah, yep, Thursday the 17th.
Right, you
Yep.
what you call it? You arrived there. There's a whole snafu that Andy went to the wrong city. Uh,
Yep.
Ethan Ralph picks you up. You guys have lunch together. What did you guys talk about?
We were just talking about possibly, what we were doing this weekend, what bars we were going to, talked about the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that it wasn't really extended beyond that, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, yeah, fair enough. And then he dropped you off at your hotel, and he
Right.
went to pick Andy, and you stayed at the hotel. And
Right.
yeah, he picked up Andy, and he also picked up myself and Dick Masterson. We went to the house, but I remember, if memory serves, that you were sort of like already at the house when we arrived.
I don't think so.
You weren't.
Because
Go ahead.
Well, no, because I came there around probably shit, hold on. I know I can check
Sure.
WhatsApp because I can check my calls. I know that I got a call from Andy at 3:04 a.m. to take the Uber over. And I at 3:19 a.m. I wrote I'll be there in 6 minutes.
Okay. So that was like the Thursday night. That would be the Friday, very early morning, right? And so
Yep.
so yeah, so you were there because I remember I remember that first night you were there for some reason. Okay, and I
Hmm.
remember that quite
I
clearly.
know you two were fighting. I do
Me,
remember that.
me and Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember sitting there and chilling and I hear him. I was zoned the fuck out. I was tired.
Uh huh.
Start hearing him yelling across the house or some shit. And I'm confused. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yelling at you about something or another. I see you standing there. I see him just getting all upset. And I'm like, okay. I was just confused and just sat there and I tried to chill him out. And he
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't fucking listen to me because he doesn't listen to people.
Right.
But yeah, I think you remember that too. I was trying to chill him out and say, "Come on, Andy, come on, let's go outside. Let's have a cigarette. Relax. Come on." That's actually one big chunk that he left out of his story the other night about me too.
Go ahead. Tell
One
it.
big chunk is that he was missing the one person who was there
Mm-hmm.
because I was sitting right next to Gator
Mm-hmm.
and it's so funny to me that he's missing the one person who was sitting right there the whole fucking time
Mm-hmm.
who had been there and
So
it's
what
so
did you
funny how
see?
he used that. Huh?
No, yeah, but what did you see? I mean, you saw us two fighting, right? And like, but not fighting, fist fighting. It was just like yelling at each other, right?
Yeah. You weren't yelling. He was the one who was yelling. And I know that he can get eccentric
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but I to me I was kind of shocked. I didn't understand why he couldn't just talk about shit like a
Mm-hmm.
normal fucking person, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could have been easier to say, "Hey, I don't like this. Change it," instead of fucking yelling about it.
Mm-hmm. Because did I yell
So
at you or him rather? Sorry, I mean, you and I you interacted very little, and I certainly never yelled at you. But when he was yelling at me, did I yell back?
no, not at all.
Okay.
You
Um,
were pretty mild about it, actually,
okay.
surprisingly.
Do you recall anything, any insult I said? I mean, it's you can say anything you want. You and I have no relationship. You can say whatever you want here, and go ahead. If I insulted anybody or yelled or whatever.
You did not insult him, as far as I'm aware.
Hmm.
I could barely hear you talking over him yelling.
Okay. Who got the room?
You did. I know
Okay.
that,
Okay. And I didn't
or at
yell.
least that night.
Yeah. And no, it was all the nights, but yeah. Okay. So anyway, what happened after he had his little conniption fit? What did you and Andy do?
We went back inside and just chilled out, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Drank. I know that you went to bed pretty early.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, because I'm an old man, I got to get my beauty rest. So,
Yeah, you gotta get that sleepy time tea in.
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what they tell me at AARP. So, anyway, what happened after that? I mean, did you spend the night at the house that first night? That was like the Thursday night into Friday night, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so, what happened
I stayed the night there, pretty much.
with Andy?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you want to go into any detail? Feel free.
I would prefer not to.
Okay.
Just to try to stay out of it a little bit, in a
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Now, there's something that has to be addressed, and I think that the chat is kind of interested in it. A year ago, his girlfriend, I keep calling her Siobhan for some reason, but her actual name is Sinead.
Yeah.
His girlfriend called him Average Andy. Do you want
Oh
to address
man.
that?
Oh man.
And I have to say, I mean, I've been a little bit diligent, but I checked your Twitter feed, and there was a Twitter that you subsequently deleted, but in it you claimed that Sinead was being generous. Would you care to elaborate?
I did. Where the fuck did I say that?
Oh, I can bring it up if you want.
Please, because I'm very confused. Can you
Okay.
send it to me over Hangouts?
Well, no, I can put it on the.
Or yeah, either way, because I have it pulled up. Let me
Yeah,
hit
wait,
play on it.
yeah. Let me just find it
What
here.
the fuck?
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, you spent the time with Andy, and where did it go? It's right here. I had it right here. Uh, uh, uh. Well, please continue. Friday. Well, I'll
I
find it. Ah, here it is.
Yeah, because I never talked about her publicly. I'm gonna put that right then and there out there. I never spoke about Shani publicly.
Okay, I'll just hang on. Let me just chat. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm just not very good with tech. You know how it is. I'm old and sad and decrepit. And so here we go. Image. And okay, and what one second. Okay, there you go. It's on screen right now. For those of you interested, it says Sinead was really kind to Andy. Let's just say he's not average. LMAO.
Yo, I didn't know. That is gay ops right there.
Oh, that's gay ops. Okay.
I'm 100% dude, coach. I did
Yep.
not fucking write that shit.
Okay. I'll put it away. So that
What
is
the fuck?
well, that's what
That
was going
happens.
around. Yeah, gay ops is gay ops. Okay.
Oh my god. No. Oh man.
Okay. No,
Jesus.
I'm just if it's gay ops, it's good to get it out and to know it's gay ops. You never wrote that tweet, and it's just a tweet that's being circulated by mean-spirited people. Okay. Is that
Oh
accurate?
my. That is 100% accurate. I never fucking wrote that. Oh my god.
Okay. No,
Jesus
no. I
Christ.
mean, look, I am just putting it there
Yeah,
so that
chat is demanding archive. If someone can get an archive of it, then sure.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know what I
I
mean?
don't have archive. Chat, get archive, and
Yep.
it's because that's been floating around, and so you are disputing that completely. Is that correct?
I am 100% disputing that.
Okay, so that's a clearly fraudulent Twitter, unless somebody
Oh,
can find the
absolutely.
archive. Okay, okay,
Yeah. And
Mm,
that's definitely nope.
okay.
Oh man.
Now, no. Look, see, what happens is that a lot of times, in a lot of drama, a lot of shit gets flung around. A lot of gay ops happen because people are mean and they want to just cause problems. So it's best to air it out. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So unfortunately,
I've
it's
been staying pretty reserved. Just because I feel like there should be some sort of like fucking privacy, but
mm-hmm,
Andy doesn't believe in that shit. So,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like everybody has been talking about you, and a lot of photographs have been coming out. And so, what do you want to address? What do you want to address of the things that have been coming out? What's the thing that's bothered you the most? And we can address it right now.
well, I want to know why you're trusting Cal with fake screenshots. I just like you and I know that Cal is full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like we both know that a lot of the shit that they post in there is adult. It's like it's edited in some way, or they're just throwing shit out to throw it out. I mean, listen. I saw them sitting there and making a huge fucking conspiracy that I'm like a tranny. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
like they were like, "Oh, she's got a fucking dick, dude. Look at her fucking facial structure, and, like all this other shit."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Like, I mean, I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, "Oh, these people are
Yeah,
fucking
but they found some
funny."
pictures of you that are
Oh God.
that well they bring the whole issue of why this is called PineconeGate, and I figured that it would be
Oh, okay, those pictures. Okay.
okay. So I won't bring them up because I don't know if I could get a community guideline strike from YouTube over it. So, but everybody who's interested in this particular topic knows about them, and so are those pictures
Oh
accurate?
yeah. Are they? Like, did I actually put a pine cone in my ass? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, no, I'm just saying, are those pictures that seem to infer certain actions, are they accurate?
No, it was a joke. That whole photo set was fucking around. They were from back in like mid 2016.
Okay. And that's just fucking around. It was just not real. Okay. So,
Yeah, it was just being a dumbass, pretty much.
okay. Yeah, you do all kinds of silly things
I, I
sometimes.
I don't put things in my butt, I promise, okay?
Okay, good to know. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what? What
Yeah,
else?
they're asking about the sex tape. I know that's coming.
Okay, well, answer. I mean,
Good.
it's your stream. You can say whatever you want.
Yep. I've been wanting to clarify that to begin with, and every time I clarify it, no one really listens to me.
Okay.
And Cal dug up a bunch of posts from an ex-boyfriend. Whatever. Uh they dug up some images of me as well, so now Cal has seen my tits, which is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, so back in May of 2016, a ex of mine, we had just broken up. He was cheating on me with an ex best friend. It wasn't like physical, but it was online, like Skype sex and shit, and I wasn't having a part of it. And I moved back home, and I had gotten with someone else, and he got very upset and proceeded to, let me think of everything he said. It was between I fucked 17 guys when I was with him, and I really like your reference to that. That was a good one. But it was that apparently I have a black baby. Apparently I'm a crackhead. He just came up with all this shit and also spammed like my nudes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where Cal is getting it from. But a lot of that shit was obviously, stretched or completely fucking made up. Like I don't have a kid. I don't have an STD. No, I did none of that. None of that shit. So I do want to clarify that
Mm-hmm.
for people who are actually wondering what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
um, And I'm regarding the tranny comments. I mean, I really hope that you can tell the difference between a biological man and a biological woman. And if you
Absolutely.
can't,
I can
I am very
unequivocally.
sorry.
I met you in person, and I can unequivocally say that you're a double X chromosome female human, no question. So
Yeah,
yeah.
like I might be a little bit hefty, but I'm not a man.
No, 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 not at all.
uh,
Okay. No, and like, and
it's
I'm guessing too. I mean, like, you're very upset with your ex, and I would guess too that you're pretty upset with how Andy treated you subsequent to Knoxville.
Of course, I am very, very upset with his actions last night because I spoke to Geek, who told me that he was not going to shit talk me, that he was not going to attack me.
Mm-hmm.
And he proceeded not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He proceeded to shit all over me. And as far as I'm aware, he leaked DMs between me and Andy to Zoom. Andy leaked them to Zoom, and Zoom put them all on his stream today, which is fucking wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, that's alleged. I have not seen it. I have just heard this.
Mm-hmm. Chat will confirm if Zoom has live streamed the private communications between Andy and Kearsten. Hit 1 if it's true, and hit 0 if it's not. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, we have Godwinson here. Um, Godwinson,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
because he's up on the lore. You don't want to speak to him? That's perfectly fine.
He wanted me to go on his stream,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's a couple people who I'm not going to name who was like, you probably shouldn't do it. So I prefer not.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. No, no, no. I mean, it's. I invited you on, and I said that there would be no guest host. It was just a spur of the moment thing. And if you don't want
Yep.
to speak to anybody else, or certainly somebody that you don't care for, that's perfectly all right. So anyway, tell me about the whole Geek Thulu told you that Andy was not going to shit talk you in any way. Is that correct?
Right. That is correct. But I have a feeling that Geek was lied to because Andy has habits of being dishonest.
Oh, tell us.
I don't think that Geek would. Well, I mean, we all know that he has habits of just twisting shit and turning shit and coming up with shit to make himself a fucking victim and everything else. And just on and on and on. We all know this. And so I don't really have any doubt that he had just told Geek that just so Geek would say, okay, fine, do your stream. And then probably went behind Geek's back and did it anyways because he's a fucking liar.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I mean, did Andy say things to you that later you realized he was just lying?
Not necessarily. No. I mean, there was a lot of times that he told me, "I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you," what the fuck ever else, but he never did. But I don't really think that counts
Mm-hmm.
as any. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But it was definitely.
it was definitely what? It was definitely just
It,
hmm?
a shit show with him. To be honest, what he did last night was uncalled for.
Okay,
Absolutely.
what did he do last night that really just what was the thing that you thought was completely uncalled for?
It was him just outright shit talking me. He could have just said, whatever happened, or what the fuck ever he was gonna say. He didn't have to go into detail on she's fucking fat, she's fucking ugly, this, and this, and this, like personally attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was uncalled for. That was absolutely not okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, because
That's what pisses me off.
yeah, because he even like on the numerical ranking he like put you in a very low position. Oh, what did you think of that kind of?
Absolutely. Well, I like how he changed me from a 4 to a 2.5.
Oh, he did.
That was oh, he did. Isn't that impressive?
Yeah, but what was he shit
Yeah.
talking you specifically? What was did he
A
lie about?
majority of it was my weight.
Mm-hmm. Just what, making
Yeah,
fun of?
yeah, making fun of my weight was the first thing, which I get it. Okay, most of us like make fun of fatties, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing was really that he was implying that he never spoke to me before Knoxville, and that's what pissed me off because I have DMs all the way back from October.
So you guys were in constant contact from October. Is that correct?
I'd
Three
say we
months.
we talked about once a week. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 2 or 3 times.
Like just Twitter DMs or like chatting in a
Uh,
hangout or something?
it was Twitter, and then it moved to Discord, and then to WhatsApp. And WhatsApp was really the day like of Knoxville.
Mm-hmm. And so, and you guys had never met until Knoxville, but there was a clear expectation that you'd fly out to Knoxville and you'd be with Andy. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was pretty much that I would be hanging out with everyone that I was essentially part of their crew.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And did you feel part of the crew?
No,
Why not?
honestly, no. It was the way that I was pushed away from a lot of shit. At
Mm-hmm.
least I felt like I was. He was sitting there. Oh, I'm gonna include you in this, and this, and he like never did, never included me in shit. So that's kind of what pisses me off is that he did not have to tell me all the shit that he was going to include me in, and that it just bounced like that.
Mm-hmm. Frankly, did you feel a little used?
Uh, in a sense, because he would come to me a lot and bitch about Sinead. It was like an emotional shit that he would always do. And that's really the only time he would talk to me is when they were fighting. Then
Mm-hmm.
he'd be like, "Oh, I'm not with her. Oh, I'm not with her. I'm not with that bitch anymore." And then he would talk all this shit and he'd talk to me. And then I would, as a friend, I'm going to sit there and be there for someone
Mm-hmm.
because that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would ghost for like a fucking week and then he'd come back and it was like repeat over and over again.
So he'd only talk to you when he was fighting with Sinead.
Yeah. And every time he would say that he wasn't with her
Mm-hmm.
and that they like broke up and shit.
Okay. And so you were basically like his emotional Kleenex. Is that basically it?
Yep. Absolutely.
Did you realize this at the time?
No, I do. Now I realize it. And after yesterday, he's a piece of shit for what he did. He absolutely is. It's fucking vile. And I cannot forgive someone for doing that. You don't be someone's friend, right? And if something happens, you just let it go. It's that fucking simple. You get in a fight, you let it go. You don't go on to your fucking shit and just start slamming someone. Like, what did I do to deserve to get slammed for that long from him and Ralph?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
Because I don't think.
go ahead.
Sorry,
No, go ahead.
I just do not think that I cannot think that there's logically any explanation for doing that to somebody.
No, certainly not.
And that's where he fucked up, and that's what really pisses me off.
Yeah, because I remember
I mean,
you two in Knoxville. He spent at least one night with you, um, or 2 nights. I mean, I forget honestly because a couple of times, I remember waking up bright and early because I'm an old man and I wake up bright and early, and going out to get breakfast, and there you were with Andy. You two sleeping away, and he was snoring, and all seemed copacetic with you two.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but I
it is
noticed
what it
that he
is.
didn't include you with like stuff like when like we would go out to lunch or hang out. He definitely didn't include you. Hmm.
Right.
And but you were with him like the whole weekend at Knoxville, right? And
Yeah, we were at pretty much every bar together.
yeah, because I didn't go out really drinking. So you tell me about that because that's something that I really don't know the lore on that.
There really isn't much to it, you know. I would just hang out there, hang out with everyone else, and he would, you know, how he's fucking ADD as hell. You
Hmm.
know how he is, just bouncing around. So there wasn't really too much interaction at the bar,
Hmm.
to be honest.
Was he hitting on other girls or something?
I'm not that I didn't really pay that much attention, but I would not doubt it, to be honest.
Hmm. And was he talking shit about Sinead to you during the whole weekend?
No.
Okay. And did you figure that he was with Sinead at the time or was not with her?
I figured that he wasn't with her because that's all he would ever tell me was that they were broken up or that they were only talking and were not together.
So from your point of view, you weren't like cheating. You weren't like with another guy, another woman's guy, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, last night there was this long stream. It was like 10 hours or something like that. And
Oh yeah, of him coked up and fucking doing karaoke and shit.
do you know for a fact he was coked up?
That's what people are telling me. I do not have proof, but I would not doubt that there was some kind of drug influence in there.
Why? Did he ever mention that he took coke?
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a
really?
couple times he video called me and would snort coke right on camera.
Really? Uh,
Yep.
what did you think of that?
That not my business if he wants to do that kind of shit. That's absolutely up to him. Uh, I personally would not do coke, but if that's his choice, that's his choice.
Okay. And
But it's kind of
it's kind of what? It's kind of what?
it's kind of not a good idea because this is one him and I have been talking for a month. I could have been anyone. You know what I mean? So him doing that could have easily resulted in bad shit had I been the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, if you like recorded that, you could have just played it. I mean, like
Exactly.
on
Yep.
camera, he was doing coke.
With his face, yeah. That's I would not do that to him, but it is really fucked up to do because you can easily screw yourself over, lose your home, or get cops called on you. You never know.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know the drug laws in Canada, so yeah,
I
that's
don't know
that's
shit.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, he went on this 2-hour rant against you, and he was saying some pretty awful things to you, right?
Oh yeah. People definitely kept me updated. I left. I didn't want to hear it because if I heard it, I would have lost my shit. I would have ended up going in chat and being like, fuck you. Like, it wouldn't have been good. So I left because I just don't really want to deal with him spurting the fuck out on so like I'm a barely 21-year-old girl, right?
Oh,
Like
really? I didn't know
I'm
your
young.
age. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I'm 21.
you're 21. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm 10 years older than him almost. I mean, older, younger, I'm sorry. I'm 10 years younger than him. I have under 500 subscribers on YouTube. I have like under 100 fucking followers on Streamy. I am a nobody. And I got attacked from Cow and from the boards for like four days. And he already knew that. He already knew I was getting attacked. He proceeded to, with Ralph, to pull me out. I think Ralph only. I'm gonna say this. I think Ralph only went with it because he didn't want to deal with Andy flipping his shit. But regardless, Andy pulls me out in front of everyone, in front of all these fucking viewers, and starts shitting all over me. And it's like, how can you take some young girl who's barely even a fucking streamer and just know that she's already been kicked down and just fucking beat the shit out of her basically in front of everyone? Like how can you do that? That's sad, actually. And he was bantering like a woman, is what he was doing. That's woman PMS shit. It really is.
How do you mean that the bantering was like a woman?
You know how women are.
Well,
You
yeah,
know, I mean, they fucking gripe and bitch and complain and say just stupid fucking shit. And it's like he got a fucking tampon shoved up his ass. He's on his fucking period. He's sitting here all hormonal and shit. Oh, I'm gonna attack Kearsten. Like, okay, I wasn't the one who said shit, right? I'm not the one who initially said anything. So, turning around on me, on the one who is basically an innocent fucking bystander, is bullshit. But whatever, let him be. If he wants to honestly sit there, because he's driving himself into the dirt. He is making himself look like shit. And a lot of people are pissed at him.
yeah, because like, what for you was? I didn't realize, by the way, that you were 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a kid. What exactly did you think was just beyond the pale? I mean, what was it that for you you're like, no, this can't be true. This is just
It was really just when all of a sudden he turned like that out of nowhere that I was like, are you fucking serious? It was just so. I did not expect it. I did not expect for him to just turn around and start shitting all over me. I expected he blocked me, it's done, it's done. I'll be left alone.
yeah. Because before yesterday, were you two on good terms at least?
Before all of this happened, yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, after Knoxville, you guys were. I don't know how the trip ended between you and Andy in Knoxville. How did it end? I mean, did you guys say, "Oh, we'll be in touch," and "Oh, this was a great weekend. We should continue this"? I mean, because a lot of times, you have a long distance relationship. You meet face to face, and you could like potentially say, "Hey, I really want to hang out with this person again, and just explore this." I mean, how did you two end up Knoxville? On good terms or bad terms?
I think it was neutral, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much gave me like 2 replies and didn't really talk to me that much. And it was just like, yeah, I'll see you around or whatever. Like, I'll talk to you later. And that was that. And then he didn't even like contact me for another week. I think
Yeah.
more than that.
Uh-huh. And when he contacted you after Knoxville, were you the one to reach out first and then he contacted you?
Yes.
Okay.
No one came to me.
Yeah. So you'd been together with him in Knoxville and you go home, it was like neutral and you go home and by the way, how did you get from your hotel to the airport?
I took an Uber.
Okay. So by the way, between the trip and the hotel and your expenses, I mean, how much were you out for? Like $500 or something, or was it more?
Um, my flights were, well, I was supposed to fly back to where I was originally living, but something just personal shit came up and I had to fly somewhere else to
Mm-hmm.
back with my mom. But my initial flights were about 255, and then the extra flight back to where I am now is 400, so about 655. The hotel was probably about four together, so about 1,000.
Yeah, but the trip to the second city to see your mom, that was unpredictable. I mean, you would have had to go there anyway, had you never gone to Knoxville. I just want to know how much it cost you to just go to Knoxville and be with Andy. Just that
No, I would
portion.
have ended up having to go home anyways.
Yeah, you would have had to spend those $400 to go home to your mom anyway, right? So
Right.
so so just the Knoxville part was about $500-600. right? Between the 250 of the hotel, I mean, excuse me, the 250 of the airfare, the Uber and the hotel and food, about $500-600. Is that basically it?
Yep.
Yeah. So you spend about $500-600, and I don't mean to pry, and I just want to know like just the general. You don't have to be specific in any way. Are you studying or are you working or are you doing both?
Both.
Okay. And I assume that Andy didn't send you some money for any of your expenses. Is that right?
No. He did not.
Okay. So basically, he got you to spend your own money, and you're a student and working, and I'm assuming that your job is not where you're making tons of money, right? And so you spent
Right.
$500-600 to get to Knoxville and hang out, and he was with you for a couple of nights, and and then he just sort of like, okay, see you around, kind of thing, and that was it. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
I'm not even upset that I didn't. I got fucked over anyways because my co-host went and everything else, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay. So, you had some friends who went there with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't a total loss, if you will. Hey, by the way, did he even
Yeah. I
give
mean, I
you?
still enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Did Andy give you free tickets at least?
No.
Oh, so you had to pay for your ticket to the fight. Okay. Or the
Yep.
non-fight. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Now listen, like you tell me. Ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. After you came back, a week passes. He's not in touch with you, and then you reach out to him, and he answers back. And what happened after that? I mean,
He got very distant.
mm-hmm.
Very, very, very distant. He just out of nowhere stopped talking to me. And when is when he blocked my number on WhatsApp.
Oh, he blocked it.
Yeah.
When did he block it?
I'd say about a month ago. Not a month, I'm sorry. A month ago is still kind of Knoxville time. I'd say 2 weeks ago.
Before your name had come up?
Yep.
Okay, so and for no
It was,
reason.
January 29th, actually.
January 29th. And for no reason.
I think. Out of nowhere. Yeah, out of nowhere. Like.
Hello?
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, you might have dropped out. You said that out of nowhere he dropped you, and what happened?
It was just, that was that. He would not associate with me or anything. Not on Discord, nowhere.
Yeah, he just totally dropped you. Okay.
Yep.
And blocked you and all the rest of it. Can I ask you something? And this might be a slightly hurtful question, and I'll that's why I'm prefacing it. Do you think that he was ashamed of you? Do you think that he got ribbed or something, and that's why he blocked you?
Not sure. Probably.
And I mean, you two, when you guys were together, you had a good time. You got along. Was there any like a fight between you two?
No, we never had fights or anything.
Okay.
Never had an argument.
Mm-hmm. And now, yesterday, he went on a rant about you for like 2 hours, right? And I know
he was fucking mad over nothing.
Yeah, because what was he mad about? Do you understand?
No. Nope.
Yeah, because that's why I'm asking you if you two had some sort of fight, and that's why I was sort of like leading up to it, and I wanted to, if you guys had a fight, well, maybe there was reason for him to be, so mean-spirited towards you. But I want to be crystal clear. You two had never had any kind of fight, like nothing happening between you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. You guys had a good time in Knoxville, and I know that you spent at least one night with Andy. I don't know if it was 2 nights, so I assumed that everything was copacetic between you two, and okay, and he blocked you out of the blue, and like around January 29th, you say?
Yeah.
And January 29th, by the way, as I recall, is when the whole Ian Miles Chong situation sort of like blew up.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So he blocked you out of the blue, and which was what on January 29th. That's 10 days, less than 10 days, about a week after returning from Knoxville, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And so basically, just to get the timeline straight, you two went your separate ways after Knoxville. We all left on the 22nd of January, for those of you who don't know the dates, which I believe was a Monday. And you, Kearsten, and Andy were in touch. You reached out to him a week later. He answered back, and then he blocked you? Is that basically the
Yep.
yeah. So he must have blocked you
Yeah.
like, go ahead.
Let me pull up. Okay, let me pull it up real quick on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wrote January 29th at 4:58 a.m. Can we chat potentially? Which he wanted to call me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I can in like half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then at 5:08 a.m., an hour later, he said he was editing something and wanted to call tomorrow, and then he just disappeared, gone.
And he blocked you that very day.
Yep.
And you two never had any fight that would lead him to block you.
Right.
I mean, it was out of the blue. Or is that accurate?
Yeah, he just out of nowhere.
Okay.
Just gone.
Okay. And so, so just to get the timeline. So after the 29th, right, he blocks you. I mean, you must have been pretty pissed when he blocks you, right? I mean, what's that all about, right?
I was a little bit upset, but I kind of just accepted it as it is what it is, and it might have been because I was seeing how he was treating Geek, and I realized it might have been better in the end for him just to cut me off, never fucking talk to him again, don't have to deal with him fucking whining or anything else. So I was like, okay, fine, it is what it is.
What do you mean with dealing with him whining?
About his girlfriend all the time, or ex-girlfriend now, I should say, bitching. Just, oh, she did this, oh, she did that, oh, she fucking whatever else, and that's really all it was.
So, like I said before, he just used you as emotional Kleenex, and
Yep.
just decided to toss you after Knoxville. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so you didn't hear anything from him for until yesterday's stream. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, he didn't reach
And
out
that's
to you.
when he,
Go ahead.
sorry, yeah, he didn't reach out to me or anything. He just started shitting on me. And of course, I can't contact him to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
So,
because he blocked you, right? So he starts
yep.
shitting on you. Did I
Yep.
have to ask this? Okay, I mean, I just want to be really, really clear. Did you do anything between the time he blocked you and yesterday's stream for
No,
him? Can you repeat that, please?
I did not. Unless you want to count, like, the video that I uploaded.
Which
the,
which video?
the stand-up friends video. I mean, unless that really counts, but that wasn't necessarily against him more than it was just, I knew that you said something about me and I just snapped back. So
Oh, you made a video mocking me. I liked it. I thought it was cute. Yeah, no,
I
no.
thought it was pretty good,
Yeah,
actually.
I liked it. Thank you. I always
It took
enjoy
about
when
2 hours. You're welcome.
yeah, no, I always enjoy it when people do videos mocking me. I guess I'm a secret masochist, but I thought it was funny.
Sometimes, yeah. I
What?
like to watch people make conspiracies on me, so I understand.
No, no,
It's interesting.
I found it just really amusing, and I said so on your video, and I was delighted. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even realize when I saw the video that the person who had made the video was you.
Oh
Okay,
shit! You
I had
didn't
no idea.
realize it was me?
No, I just took it at face value as like, oh, a video mocking me. And I just, if I'd had some popcorn around, I would have like been eating it up while I watched it, because I personally love those videos.
They're actually pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, they're fun to watch because it's fun to watch somebody mock you because a lot of times their mockery is accurate, and so you can improve on the one hand, and on the other hand, it's
Yeah.
I feel flattered to tell you the truth because I know how long a video can take, And so, like, when somebody goes to the trouble of making a video mocking you, I think I take it as a compliment. I don't get upset about it, not at all. I find it very amusing. Kevin Logan did one on me that must have taken him days to make. Okay, the Descent of the Manosphere. Go check it out, Chad. It must have taken him days to make it. I was just thrilled to the moon. You know, it was just I just found that just a remarkable piece of work. And yours, I thought was just really, really funny. Yeah, and you like processed your voice to sound like me, and you sounded almost as pompous as me. You know, it was just great. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I mean, just so that you know, you and I are cool on that regard. On the contrary, if you want to make more on me, feel free. I think it's funny. So anyway,
Right.
yeah, you and Andy had not been in touch after he blocked you, right? And and what you call it, and all of a sudden, I mean, from your point of view, just to get this straight, you guys had had zero contact from January 29th until last night. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay, and I just have to reiterate this point because I don't want people to think that you're, you know, like a scorned woman or that you guys had had a big fight or some shit like that, and you're like shitting on the guy in revenge for some big fight. You guys had never had any kind of fight. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I mean, you know, just so that people know. Okay. So, he goes on the stream, and Andy's going to shit on me, which is fine, you know. And you were watching it as he's shitting on me, right? And then it turns to you,
Right.
right? What did you
Yeah,
think?
like I understood him being upset about what you had said about him. I get that. I get he was upset. I still think he's a little bit more eccentric than he should be
Mm-hmm.
about situations. But then it comes to me, and that's what pissed me off was like, okay, it was just petty shit. I don't think any because I was nothing but a bystander. That's kind of why I was butthurt about you talking about me because I was like I was a bystander, just say it, girl, you know, like, and I heard it and I was like, holy shit, like everyone went in, and it doesn't really bother me. Like I'm okay, I'm fucking fat, big deal. I
Mm-hmm.
go to the gym, I'm losing weight, fuck it. So whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've lost 50 fucking pounds. So if people want to call me fat, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
just felt like it was insulting to be berated like that by so many different people at the
Right.
same time.
But especially Andy. I mean, Andy knew you, and you two
Yeah,
had been
like
together.
you and I were not friends. Like maybe I said like a word to you at most. You know, we didn't
Yeah.
really talk.
Yeah.
So it didn't really bother me as much that you were saying shit because everyone says shit. It's a fucking
Sure.
internet. But when it was someone who was a friend, I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very offended because it wasn't necessarily the words more than it was the impact that it made. That was someone who I considered a friend.
Because you considered him a friend, and he
Right.
went on a 2 hour long rant about you.
Right.
Right. And you thought that that was. What did you think of that?
It was betrayed. Very betrayed. Actually, I think is the right word.
Because
It was just
I really want to nail this down. You had never once been unkind to him. You'd never been mean or rude or yelling or nagging or anything of the typical things that somebody could criticize, a man could criticize a woman for when they're together, right?
right.
And it was uncalled for, and he just started shitting on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I did nothing. I was never rude to him. If anything, like I was nicer than I should have been. But that's just the way he is.
Do you think that he was shitting on you? I mean, you know, again, I don't mean to be rude to you while you and I are speaking, but I just have to ask you, if you had been like some hot girl, like some model or something, or somebody like online who's famously good looking, do you think
Right.
that he would have said the same things about you?
No. I absolutely no, absolutely not. It was a shame thing, in my opinion. All of
So,
this is someone who's moderately overweight with tattoos and piercings, and it's not ideal. So let's shit on them, pretty much.
So you think it was Andy was ashamed,
Mm-hmm.
ashamed of you, of his having been with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even being around me probably was enough to make people question him, his fucking ego. So his ego made him fucking angry, more than likely.
Oh, and that's pretty big, you know. Um, that somebody. I mean, like basically, you're saying that if you'd been hot, he wouldn't have said anything. But since you're not the ideal beauty standard, he can shit on you all he wants. Is that basically what you're saying?
I think that's what it was. Absolutely.
Mm. Do you think that that he was afraid that people would laugh at him for having been with you?
Yeah, absolutely. But they still are.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a laughing stock. People were fucking spamming pine cones and shit,
Mm-hmm.
on his stream. Like, good job. He still made himself look like an asshole.
Mm. Okay. Well, so he did this stream. What did your friends say to you after the stream?
Um, People were just like, "Did you hear what Andy said? Did you hear what Andy said?" And I was like, "Yep." Like, I certainly fucking did. But I mean, if people want to sit here and they want to fucking harpoon my ass with a bunch of insults, it's really whatever at this point. You get thick skin, you get used to it, and you learn to laugh at it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had to
I,
grow a very thick skin very quickly over the times people have shit on me. So yeah,
oh yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about, Kirsten. So
oh
yeah.
yeah. I mean, oh yeah, I've dealt with it for a while. So at this point, I'm like, just laughing shit off.
Mm, mm, mm. Now, do you think that you'll ever get an apology from Andy?
No, I had actually requested. I don't want to name this person.
Mm-hmm.
But a friend of mine who is also friends with Andy messaged me and said they were going to talk to Andy and have him apologize to me. And I was like, that's, cool. Okay, have him apologize. And, he went and they asked him, and let me scroll up. And Andy pretty much started bitching when this person asked him to apologize to me. And let me find it. He says, "Tell her to fuck off, or I'll start up a stream right now and go further into detail, and I'll do it again and again until I ruin her existence." He said, "If I stop, I'll stop." And I said, "Does he understand that he cannot ruin me because he has nothing against me and I'm just some small fucking streamer?" And he goes on to say that he doesn't care about DMs being leaked, but he promises to leave me alone if I leave him alone. And I'm like, well, I think I should get my chance. I explained the situation as well. He got to publicly lie about me and shit on me. And then Andy proceeded to tell this individual that he was going to turn on his stream immediately and reveal everything. And I asked, reveal what? And he said he had no idea. And I wrote, there's nothing to reveal. He said, then the person in the middle wrote that he print screened everything. And I wrote, yeah, well, he's digging himself deeper. He's, making more people hate him. And then person in the middle wrote back, he just said, I have nothing to lose. It's going to be bad. And I wrote, well, I just want to know what gives him the right to go on a stream and slander me with another person who I considered a friend. And then lied. And I was like, before he goes on, ask him what compelled him to lie about shit. And then he said that he never said he didn't talk to me before Knoxville. That's a fucking lie, because he was on his stream saying that he never met me before Knoxville, that he never spoke to me. And that supposedly I told someone that that he was in love with me. I never fucking said that. So the individual who was mentioned, I'm like, so did you ever tell Andy that I said that? And she was like, no, I did not. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then he said, I have print screens of everything because they told me all about what you said. And I was like, well, he's being a fucking idiot. I just talked to her. It's nice that you're trying to help, but I don't think that you should be in the middle of this because you didn't do anything wrong. And then Andy kept pushing to the person in the middle that he absolutely had screenshots. So I sent the person in the middle the screenshots of the person, the friend who supposedly said something to Andy denying it. And then Andy proceeded to tell him, okay, I'm not going to do anything if you don't do anything. Let's move on with our lives. And he completely backed out as soon as I had proof that he did nothing wrong. Or, I mean, that I did nothing wrong. And that he was full of shit.
So he basically, you asked for an apology and he just threatened you to live stream right away and reveal more about you.
Yeah, he was basically trying to run me further in the dirt as if there were people who weren't supporting me when there's people who are supporting me and they're on my side.
Mm-hmm. So,
but either way, I find it very funny, very, very, very funny that he wants to shit on me for my weight when Sinead is about the same weight as well, which I think is really fucking hilarious to me. Because that's some two-faced shit. Especially when he wants to say that he loves her in the same stream. But whatever. All right. I'll go ahead and, I mean, like the total fucking porker I am, I'll fucking, I'll just fucking oink my way out of that shit. Like, all right, you want to fucking lie about me? You want to, just be a hypocrite? Okay.
Yeah, it's basically just, threatening you. I mean, you wanted an apology. Let me rephrase this. Somebody who knows both you and Andy reached out to you to try to broker an apology from Andy. And it was going to be a public apology or a private apology?
I wanted a public apology because he had, shit talked me publicly, so I felt like it was fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But would you have been satisfied with a private apology?
No, honestly. And only because I felt like with the fact that he had gone public with it, he would have to go public with an apology, in my opinion. Because everyone should know that he fucked up, but his ego is what would not let him do that. He has too much of an ego, so he got ass hurt, and that's why he turned around and started with the threats.
So he basically threatened you with another live stream. This happened in the last 24 hours, is that correct?
This happened about probably not even 2 hours ago. Let me pull it up. Okay. Yeah, 2 o'clock a.m., and it's 3 right now.
Right. So he was basically saying, I'm never giving an apology, and I'll do another one on you to reveal more dirt on you. Okay.
Yeah, it was basically, no, I'm not going to apologize to you. Fuck you, bitch. I'm going to shit all over you again and drive you farther into the dirt.
Okay. And that more or less leads us up to this moment that you and I are talking, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I reached out to you because, to tell you the truth, a lot of people were suggesting I reach out to you and have you on a stream. Personally, I find it kind of sad, this whole situation. I do think that it's rather sad for you. I mean, you could easily be my daughter. I've got 30 years on you. So yeah, I find it very sad that this situation has come to this, and I understand completely how upset you must be. I most certainly do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some of Andy Worski's fans been shitting on you? I mean, like directly on your streams. I mean, you're on YouTube, but I don't know if you're on YouTube and you're on Twitch and Twitter. Have people been harassing you and just dogpiling on you?
It hasn't been as bad as I expected. I mean, of course, there's going to be a few comments here or there of shit, but it's not even bad. It's things that I've heard for a very long time. It's, oh, you're fucking fat. Like, moo, bitch. No fucking shit, I don't care. Like, I mean, that's the only thing that people go for with me. And it's so funny because I sit here and call myself a fat ass on a daily basis. I sit here and make fun of myself. So it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
There's times where it can get to me a little bit, but I'm like, why am I letting that piss me off? Like, why am I letting it bother me? Because I'm actually bettering myself.
Mm-hmm.
So there's really no point for me to be like, that kind of bothers me. Like, fuck it. If people don't like me, if people want to be assholes to me, fuck them too. It's whatever.
So you're bettering yourself. You say that you're going to the gym. You're working out.
Yes. Yep, I
Yeah.
go 3 times a week now.
Okay. Like
It doesn't. It's,
like a high impact kind of routine.
I go between cardio and weights.
Mm-hmm.
So I do about 30 minutes cardio, and then the rest about, say, 45 minutes to an hour is like heavier weights.
Mm-hmm. And like, have you been losing weight? I mean, you said that you'd lost 50 pounds, which is terrific.
Yep.
Like,
oh yeah,
I mean,
the pictures that were leaked of me over again, that's when I was 50 pounds heavier. So
mm-hmm.
it's a little bit why I'm like, fuck, man, that's being posted everywhere. Damn it, they're not better ones. But
Well, Kearsten, you ever heard an expression that the best revenge is living well? Have you ever heard that expression?
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
I have.
I think that perhaps, I mean, you're trying to better yourself. Are you eating healthy, which is, I think, the key issue? Are you trying to eat healthy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot better. A lot of people sit here and eat like really shitty food, and I
Yeah.
get it's cheaper for some people or more accessible,
Mm-hmm.
which I understand, but it's still it in the end costs about the same amount just to eat healthier. It
Yeah.
really does. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like that nasty box shit just slows you down. Absolutely. It's
Mm-hmm.
so much better
Mm-hmm.
just to have water and vegetables and fresh, shit. It's
Yeah.
so much better for you. And it makes you feel better. You get like more energy and everything.
Yeah, yeah, I certainly do. Because it's so convenient to be sitting on a computer and just like grab a box of whatever, can of Pringles, and just like scarf it down and just keep on, surfing or doing whatever you're doing on the internet. It's so easy to fall into that trap, and
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, and it takes time to sort of like stop, make yourself a meal. I mean, like you go to the grocery store, the vegetables, and salads and what have you, are the same price, if not cheaper. And they've got a lot of these bags that are all like pre-cut, pre-washed. You're all set. Just grab a bag of salads
Yep.
or whatever. And of course, don't put the fucking dressing, right? Because the dressing is what makes you fat, right?
Oh yeah, the dressing is bad.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's worse than a can of Pringles, Yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta shy away from that shit. You just gotta put like lemon juice, or just squeeze out a lemon a little bit and just go raw.
Even salsa is actually pretty good. It can have some higher calories in it, but it's much better than fucking drenching your shit in ranch or something.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
salsa is definitely another way you can go to.
Yeah, but I mean, even salsa has like a lot of calories. The thing
Yep.
that I do a lot of times when I'm like really okay, I'm gonna lose weight, but you have this urge to like fill your stomach, because you're so used to it. I eat celery, like stalks of raw celery, because it fills you up, and it's actually very good for your digestive tract. And digesting it consumes more calories than celery gives you. Celery is mostly water. And so,
Right.
yeah, have you ever tried that? You should try that.
Yeah, celery's actually pretty good,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah. I mean, I feel like Bugs Bunny, like snapping away. But yeah, it's much better. So you're improving yourself. You're making the effort to get better, to
Oh, yeah.
lose weight, feel better about yourself, and just get healthier. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good on you. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing why, so initially when I was younger, I was a lot thinner when I was younger. It's surprising, right? I used to be a size 2. I used to be 100 pounds. And I mean, I have pictures to prove it before someone's
No,
like, what the
I
fuck?
believe you. Yeah. What happened then? What
You
happened?
well, I eventually had to go on some certain medications when I was younger. And, psychiatric pills can actually slow your metabolism down just a little bit. I
Yeah.
have an anxiety disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of anxiety pills slow all your shit down.
Yep.
So of course, everything you consume tends to stay a little bit longer. I
Yep.
guess is the right way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, eventually I fell into a lot of emotional issues, and I was on top of being medicated. I was binge eating, which was a horrible fucking idea. That's
Sure.
whoa. You gotta stop it. I mean, whether even finding if you have that issue to go find some fucking vegetables and like down them, it's going to impact you a lot better than it is going after something you shouldn't be.
Yeah, like pizzas and Doritos and crap. Yeah.
Exactly. And over time, I realized, like, as I got older, like, this is not good. I need to do something about it. I'm going to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to have, like, issues eventually, and I don't want to have those issues. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when I recognized, okay, I have a problem. And I started, working on it because
Mm-hmm.
that's what you got to do. You recognize you have a problem. You can't just sit back and say, I have a problem. You have to work on fixing it
Mm-hmm.
because looking at it isn't going to do anything. Just, oh, you're acknowledging it.
Yeah. And so, like, if you don't mind my asking, when was your peak weight, if you will?
Uh, I would say 20, geez, probably the beginning of January of 2016. I was 250 or 230 pounds,
Wow, that's a
which
lot.
was a lot. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially for 5'2". Holy shit!
Yes, that is.
And I mean, I'm at 185, which isn't necessarily like a much less, but it's definitely less.
Yeah. And
So
you
we're
want
getting
to get
there.
back to 100 pounds, right? Because you were
I
100
would
pounds.
like to get at least 150, which is still overweight, but it's better than what I am now. And I like to set like 10, 20-pound goals. And I like to be like, cool, I just hit this one. And I kind of like to do that.
Are you off your
Because
anxiety
it's,
medications?
yes, when did I go off? I initially stopped medications in August of 2015. I was 18. And I decided I was done with it. And eventually there were some things that came up in my life again. Just emotional shit. Some shit happened in my family, and my anxiety kind of got worse again. So I decided I'm just gonna go back and go and find a therapist when I lived in Texas. And I went back on pills for about 6 months. And my thing is, I will now that I'm older, if I'm at the point where I think I just need a crutch, that's fine. I'll go on them for a little bit, but I am not the person who will stay on them. And if people have to stay on them, that's fine. There are some people who have to have them the rest of their life. I get that.
I
For me,
personally,
I like,
go,
huh?
no, sorry, I
Oh,
interrupted you. Please continue.
yeah, I was just saying, there are some people who have to have them for their entire life, like if you're schizophrenic or anything like that. Completely understandable. For
Hmm.
me, I like to use them as a crutch if I need a little bit of help getting by because I'm not really functional. Otherwise, I just bear through it pretty much. But it's really, if it gets bad, bad, is when I'll go back to the doctors and say, I'm a little bit anxious. I need, some Ativan or whatever.
Well, my thinking is that these anxiety medications, these psychotropic medications in general, I think that they're really, really bad, and I think
Yes.
that it's better to ride out the storm of anxiety
Mm-hmm.
or depression or whatever, and just change your
Absolutely.
life as opposed to be on them, because I think that they fuck with your brain chemistry on the one hand, and on the
Yep.
other hand, they simply postpone your problem as opposed to helping you change the situation so you no longer have the problem. You see what I mean? And
Exactly.
it also makes you gain weight disproportionately. It's just, I do not see any upside. The only people who benefit are pharmaceutical companies. And that's why I'm very much against them. I'm totally against giving them to children because I think that's catastrophic, and it just fucks with heads. And like, I have a small kid. He's 3 going on 4, right? I have a
Right.
daughter who's 5 and a son who's 3. My 3-year-old son is just a little animal. He's like a little monkey running around and doing all kinds of like little boy stuff. But that's normal. Just being rambunctious and being 3, 4 years old. That's what boys are. And medicating them, I think, is horrible. And so, yeah, I think that for adults, it's the same thing. I mean, I understand that maybe you're in a point in your life where you're very anxious, but you have to change your life as opposed to change your brain. That's my
Right.
thinking. And you agree.
Absolutely. I mean, my mom did not know any better when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, and the doctors had convinced her, "Oh, your daughter has ADHD."
Mm.
at fucking 5 years old. So of
Jesus.
course it was definitely it was a long time, and it was originally go on fucking Ritalin, go on all this other shit. And it's like that giving a young, especially a young kid,
Yeah.
will fuck up their brain beyond belief because your brain is still developing until you're what 24.
At least, yeah.
It's exactly
I'm
so when
51
you're
and I'm still
being
developing.
yeah right, but it's crazy. It's like these people are put on this shit that alters your brain chemistry, especially before puberty or during puberty when your brain is kind of rewiring itself and repruning. And when you have all these pills in yourself and shit, it's completely fucking up your chemistry. And it can be a lifelong issue at that point. It can take one, because there's a such thing as fucking shit, what is it called, adjustment disorder, where
Hmm.
like you go through divorce, you go through whatever,
Hmm.
it's a period in your life of depression and anxiety. And like that's what I was diagnosed with at fucking probably 10. Around 10 I was diagnosed with adjustment disorder. For some reason it's go on pills. But this is just an example, is that adjustment disorder is about 6 months, maybe to a year you're dealing with it. Probably not a year. So it's about 6 months. Within those 6 months, when you get put on those pills and it starts to alter your shit, and then you go off of them because you think you're doing better, you're all fucked up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's just not good. And I think the pharmaceutical industry just wants money. I
Yeah.
absolutely think that's what it is, because this is how we're throwing out all these diagnoses for all these people for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Because the pills are so expensive.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, if you've ever invested in pharmaceuticals, it's a cash cow. You can make so much money off of it. Yeah, and it's making money off of people's misery and turning it into a disorder. Because adjustment disorder, that's absurd. That's just adjustment disorder really means, well, you're going through a shitty period because your life is
Mm-hmm.
changing, but it's just going to be a period of your life. It's not a disorder. It's just crazy. I didn't know about that, to tell you the truth. Thanks for telling me.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I just want to wind this conversation down because we've been going on for close to an hour and a half, and it's late for everybody, and all the rest of it. And so I just want to, I'm glad that you and I talked,
Right.
and I hope that you've had so far a pleasant conversation. I mean, I hope it hasn't been unpleasant for you.
No, we've been good.
Yeah, good, good. But like, I just want to, how can I put it? Look, is there anything that you want to say to Andy, that you want to say to him directly? I mean, after all the things that he said about you yesterday, here's your chance to go on a rant about Andy, because, tit for tat, all's fair in love and war. And, he said a whole bunch of attacks on you from what you've told me. That 2-hour rant about you was unprovoked because you guys never had any kind of fight, and he had blocked you, and you thought that you were out of each other's lives. And he started shitting on you for 2 hours. So
Yeah.
here's your opportunity. Do you want to, return the favor, if you will? Because he hurt you pretty badly, right?
I will say that he is definitely an asshole for what he did. Definitely asshole. Definite asshole move. But I really hope that in the future, I hope he learns something from this, because a lot of people turned against him. I sincerely hope that he learned that you really should not be fucking with the people who do care, because I cared,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be a day where he turns on everyone who he had these delusions about, or what the fuck ever. He's going to turn around someday, and he's gonna, whether he's successful in what he does or if he has money or whatever, he's gonna turn around and he's gonna look behind and be like, I have nothing. He's going to turn around and say, I have no friends. I have no one who cares about me. This is all I have. And he's going to regret every single thing he's done to everyone who he cared about and everyone who cared about him. It's pretty much what's going to happen.
Mm.
He's just going to regret everything. And I hope, I really, 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 I pray that he turns his shit around, because he's going to end up killing himself over this shit. from stress. He's going to just drive himself so far in the dirt someday. All he's going to have left is drinking, is drugs, and is fucking people over. And it's really going to fuck him up someday.
Mm. Mm. Well said, Kearsten. Well said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. And
the
so
best thing you can say to someone like that.
Yep. And so on that note, this is the end of today's shit stream. It's been very illuminating. Kearsten, I want to thank you very much for having come on.
Thank
I
you.
know that it took a lot of guts to come on, because I think a lot of you might have thought that I was going to shit on you or make fun of you, and I hope that this was respectful, and that you feel that you were heard. And there's one question Chad is asking: how did you get Ethan Ralph's number?
He gave it to me one day over a voice call on Discord.
Ethan or Andy?
Ethan.
Oh, you were on a voice call with Ethan at some time.
Yeah, it was on his now removed account, pretty much. When it got nuked by who the fuck ever was reporting all of his shit.
Okay. Before, and how were you in a call with Ethan Ralph?
It was just through a regular Discord call.
Oh, like a group call?
Yeah. It was just it was a private call. I'm trying to find the date.
Oh, but why were you and Ethan Ralph on a private call?
There was a couple times that he was like, "Hey, I'm bored. Do you want to call me?" And I'm like, okay, sure." And that was that. Pretty much.
Ethan said to you, "Hey, I'm bored. You want to talk to me?"
Yeah.
Okay. So he'd been in touch, and how had he become aware of you?
It was through Andy.
So Andy and you had been in touch somehow. It doesn't matter how. I mean, actually, it would be interesting to know how you two were in touch. But just to understand this point with Ethan Ralph, Andy had mentioned you to Ethan Ralph, and Ethan reached out to you. Is that accurate?
That's pretty. I think that's what happened. I don't know how else he would have found me or started talking to me.
Oh, okay. So let me. Sorry, I was about to wrap up. So if please, if you don't mind, you just to clear up this point. This is kind of interesting. So when did Ethan reach out to you? Do you happen to have it there in your records?
I can go ahead and
The
find
first
it, but it wasn't. He was never rude. He was never weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can 100% say that he was never bad, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that I think that he pitched in with Andy last night is because he knew that had he ended up, telling Andy to stop outright, Andy would have gotten pissed. Because Andy doesn't take no for an answer.
I know that. but I'm interested here to understand how, I mean, see, like for instance, Nick Rekieta, who's like the hero of the evening, right? Nick Rekieta and I are friendly, right? And I know a few people and such like that, but like Nick Rekieta has never said to me, "Hey, coach, can you get me in touch with XYZ?" I'm just giving a hypothetical, okay? So it's kind of weird, okay? It's kind of weird that...
Okay, I recall now what happened. So I commented on... There was someone who made a post on Twitter. It was either him or it was Andy, asking who was going to Knoxville, and I said that I was. And the first DM that Ralph asked me, he just asked me if I was going to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much, we were just talking about the fight and all that shit, and about the South.
When was this? Do you know the dates?
December.
December, okay. Early, mid, late?
It was about early December.
Okay, so early December, when it was all set, when we were all going to go to Knoxville, Ethan reached out to you via Discord. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
no, Twitter. I'm sorry. It was originally Twitter.
Oh, it was a Twitter DM.
Yeah, and we eventually started talking on Discord.
Okay, why? I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. It's weird.
We were just friends. That's really all it was. And honestly, I really feel like you're being kind of a manipulative asshole and you're really trying to get dirt on Ralph.
No, no, no. I just want to ask
And
because
I
it's
don't know why
okay.
you're pretending to be nice to me because you
No,
want me to shit on your enemies, but it's
no, no,
like
no, no.
just really
Okay,
fucked up, to be
okay. Look,
honest.
look.
And you can have a
Kearsten,
nice
Kearsten,
night.
Kearsten. Okay. Hello. Okay, fine. If you feel like that, she left the call, and so I'm the big shit here. Okay, fine. I just wanted to know because I find it weird, but we'll leave it at that. I hope I was respectful to Kirsten, and I wish her only the best. And yeah, I got blown the fuck out. Yeah. Oh well. So anyway, it won't be the first time, and certainly won't be the last. It's a real pity that she left, and yeah. So I'll leave it at that. All the best to all of you, and take it easy.